Hi and welcome back to my channel. And today it's going to be another video on the DX7. And as some of you knows, those who always comes to my channel, I'm a big fan of that synth. It's one of my favorite vintage synths that I have here in my studio, and I'm using it a lot because the sound is very great, and also it cuts always through the mix. So that's why I'm using this synth. It has also a very nice keyboard. It plays well. It sounds well. You can find lots of sounds on the internet also for this synth. It's so versatile also, and to be honest, I like the design of the synth. It's a very nice looking synthesizer to have that in your studio. But there is a catch, of course. The one thing that everybody knows, that the DX7 is a very difficult synth to program. When you like to create a sound patch on your DX7, that is very hard. Creating FM sounds on the DX7 is not easy. Also, if you want to edit your sound, a patch, also not easy. So that's the catch of the synth, and that's also why I think lots of people are not so fond of that synth. But to be honest, there is an easy way to do that, and today I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing for creating a patch, or how I create a patch from scratch on an FM synth for the DX7, and also how I can editing my sounds and send it back to the DX7. So that's also one thing I want to show you, how I do that, all the tricks. And the more that I play with this synth, the more I discover more things, and also I discover how great this synth is. And certainly when I discovered also there is a free plugin, the Dexed, as you know. I made a lot of videos about this plugin also. When I discovered that, then for me it was obvious that the DX7 is a very great synthesizer, and with that plugin as a sort of a tool that you can use for editing your sound, for creating a sound, that make this synth very powerful. And not only powerful for those two things, but also you can use it in your DAW. You can layer it on each other, so you can create very large and big sounds with this synth. And it comes close to an analog synthesizer, like as good as a Prophet 5 or Oberheim synths. So it's a very interesting instrument. If you have the chance to buy one, to be honest, do that. You can use it as a MIDI keyboard also, because it's very good MIDI keyboard. Only thing you must be careful with this synth is that the aftertouch work. And even if it works, it's a very hard aftertouch. Mine, it works 100%. Everything works on this synth, and it's for the sounds of the DX7. It's a hard aftertouch. But if I'm using it for another VST or another synth, it works well. So I think it does do something to do with the internal settings of the synth. But so today I'm going to show you how you can send your sound patches from the DX7 to the Dexed, or how you can search patches on the net and to send them to your DX7. Also, how to load your patches from a cartridge on your synth, and also otherwise, of course. There are also other other apps that I'm using for that, and we'll show you that also. And also how to create a FM sound, how it works, and how to create that we are not going deep into that. I'm gonna just tell you the basic things that you must know when you're creating an FM sound, and how to send it to your DX7 and save it. I'll save it also on your DX7. So how the workflow goes here with me when I'm using the DX7. Also how to layer it on an, if you want to use it as a synth with more synths on each other, layering the sounds also. So there is lots of things I want to explain today in this video. So stay with me. If you have a question, just leave it in a comment. Feel also free to like, of course, and subscribe to my channel, so I can give you more of this content that I have here, all those things that I'm doing here in my studio. As you know, Dexed is a free plugin that you can use. The sound is identical with the DX7 sound. There is no difference. So it's a DX7. If you have a MIDI keyboard, then you have the same. You have a DX7. You can do much more there with the Dexed than the DX7. But I'm gonna show you how. If you think I like to play on my DX7, or I'm using the patches for a gig, you want to take your DX7 with you, and you want to send those patches to your DX7 that you created or that you find on the internet. There's always a way, and I'm going to show you how. Now, let's get started with how to send and receive patches on your DX7 from a Dexed, and also the settings that you must do before you're going to start with that. So the first thing you must do is go to your DX7, and you must set your memory protection off. You have two memory protections. You have the memory protection of your cartridge and also of the internal memory from the DX7. You must turn that off. And how to do that? I'm going to the DX7 now. I'm going to take the mic with me. That's easier. So I can tell you what I'm doing. So you can do that same thing if you have DX7. All those who just came to the live stream, welcome to the live stream, and also feel free to like and subscribe, and certainly leave a message in the chat, or just say hello, of course. I'm gonna put this mic. That's better. All those cables here. It's always like that. So to start with, on your DX7 you have your patch numbers from 1 to 32, but also there are also your settings that you can choose within. And in this case, for the MIDI, when you turn it, you're gonna turn this off like that. And you're gonna turn it on. That's the first thing that you do always when you turn your synth on. And I'm going to set my internal patches. So I'm in patch number 1. Oh, there is no sounds. Now it will be. There is sound now. So, I'm a little bit with this cable here. Okay, now I have lots of cable. So I'm in patch number 1. So your internal memory patches, it's one here. Then in patch number 1. So if you want to receive patches from your Dexed, or that you found on the internet on your DX7, you must go to function number. That's it. The yellow, brown, orange color that it has. I think more orange than yellow. So push on that. You must. Then number 8. When you push once times, you have your MIDI channel. Normally, it's in default mode. It's number 1. Always stay in that number 1. Then the second time when you press the second time number 8, you will go to system info, sysx info, unavailable. You must set that in available. You can do that with your fader here, or with your button plus min, or yes or no. Available, it's available now, so it's open. You can send and receive sysx information from data from your laptop to your DX7 through MIDI, of course. Then when you set this one in an available, you can press another time, and then you can get MIDI transmit. This is for transmitting all the patches that I have here to not your DX7. That is not your Dexed, but you must open another app to do that. I'm going to show you that after. Now I'm going to just tell you that you can do that. So if you're in MIDI transmit and you have, in this case, I'm going to let you know which app that I'm using for that. You must download that app so you can send all those MIDI data to that app, and you can save it, and then you have also the same. And from there on, you can use it for the Dexed or for other VSTs that you have. So that's also a way to send all your patches that you have here to your laptop. The same thing that you do on a Prophet 5. Also, you send your and also use it also sometimes for the Korg MS-20 or the ARP Odyssey. But you can only use that if you set your I'm going back. Set your system's exclusive info in on, so available, that it's not off. Because if is it unavailable, then it's then you cannot use it. Because now when I'm pressing, I'm going to MIDI transmit. That's very important to transmit all your patches that you have on your DX7 to your laptop. That's very important. But I'm going to show you that after. So first of all, set your MIDI system sysx in available. Then go to your internal memory, and it's protected, it's on. Then press yes or no. You cannot use your fader in this case, only yes or no. Press that, then your memory is open. Now you can load patches from the Dexed to your DX7. I have a ROM cartridge, so they cannot be overridden. So that's always memory protected. If I'm set it open, I cannot save patches on this one. You can also send your patches from your download your patches from your cartridge to your synthesizer, and that's on numbers 15 and 16 also in the function button. And you have save and load. If you press load, and then it goes load memory, all of memory. If you say yes, it's gonna download all those patches on your internal memory. I'm not going to do that because they are the same thing now. If I can do yes, there's yes in A now. It's cartridge number 1, bank A. So if I say yes, it will do that, and it is all on my memory. They are the same patches. If I go now, that's number 1. If I go now to B and I do the same thing, I say yes again, and I'm going to my internal memory, So I have now another patch because I override it with my patch from my cartridge. I'm going back to so load again, function load. I'm gonna set it in A, and then yes. And normally, if I go now to, oh, it doesn't again. Load. Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Complete. Internal. Go to the first, and I'm back with that brass sound. For all those who just came to the live stream, welcome to the live stream. And also, feel free to leave a comment in the chat or just say hello. I know there's someone listening also, and also just to be nice also, why not? So that's the way. So first of all, set your memory protection off second, and also go to your MIDI system info of SysX info. Set that also open available, because it's in default mode is always unavailable, so it cannot be used. Now it can send and receive system info from the laptop to the DX7 and otherwise. If you press another time on the number 8, then you're gonna get MIDI transmit. That means I can transmit all my patches to my laptop, but for that I need another plugin, another app for that. And I'm going to show you that. So it's open now, and I'm going to open that app that I want to show you to transmit all those patches that you have now here to my laptop. To do that, what do you need? I'm going to minimize the Dexed. You need the MIDI OX. MIDI OX, it's a software that you need to receive data from your synthesizers. It can be a Prophet 5, that can be the Dexed. I think also I can do that with MIDI, with each synthesizer that can send MIDI system information. It can be used with that. Also, you can do a lot other things with that, with this software. MIDI aux, if you download that, then you can have this screen here. I make it bigger so you can see which information comes when I do that on the DX7. So what do you have here? Very important is you're going to your options, and then you're going to your MIDI device. And in this case, you must turn on your MIDI device that you're using. I'm using the DX7 on MIDI port with my MIDI patch on port number 3. So I receive and I send all my data through MIDI port number 3. So now it's on. As you see, that's those two. I say OK. So it's now connected with my DX7. If I go now back, I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to do the thing that I did before. Then you will see on the screen that all my data, all the patches are going to, how do you say it in English? You're going to see them on the screen here, coming in from the DX7 to my laptop. So like I said before, press your function button, go to your number 8 once. You see MIDI channel, choosing from channel is always in MIDI channel 1. I'm using always MIDI channel 1. Second time, that's for your system, it must be always available and not unavailable. And then the third time, if it's not unavailable, you cannot press 3 times. So you must make it available. Then again, then it says MIDI transmit. I say yes, and then it will appear. And now you see all those patches, all the information of each patch that you have on your MIDI, on your synthesizer. The system exclusive information. That's the SysX. So those are all the information of all the 32 patches that I have on my DX7. So I can send that to another in the DAW, or you can send it to another DX7. Same thing, send it to another DX7. I can send it and it will enter that. That's the system exclusive data that you can receive and send if you like. You can do that also. And normally you go to, you can save it, of course. You can save it so you can have it for another time if you like. I can make a backup like that and send it back to my DX7. That's very important that you have this program. MIDI aux to this one. So very important. There are other things. I'm not going in deep into this. So I can also send. I can send my general MIDI and the other system X files also. Can send it. You can do a lot of with this. Maybe if I have some times and I make a video only about this one. But it is a very interesting, and normally I save always this one file, save. I can also load a snapshot, but I can save this one and then make it patches bank B and bank A number 1 and name it like that, and you can save it. If you lost your cartridge, for example, or there is you have a DX7 without the patches, you can send them back to that. Certainly when your battery is dead, then you lose also all your patches and you don't have your cartridge, then you can do that in like this also. That's a way, but I'm not going deep into this. Maybe another video if I have some time, of course. So that's the first thing that I want to show you. But when you have your Dexed on, and when you're using, you want to send patches that you downloaded from an internet file, and you want to send them to your DX7, you can do that through this one, through the Dexed. How do you do that? You can send even one sound if you like. So, for example, to send the whole patch that you have here, how do you do that? Go to cartridge. As you see, this is my bank that's on my I'm on Dexed. So if I play, that's another one. That's another bank, of course. I can also download the same bank that I have on my DX7. So I can go load, go to my file where I put all my ROM A, that's cartridge number 1. In A, there's also A. Double click, and now it's the same. I have the same patch that is on the DX7. For example, I want to change that patch that is now on, that's patch number 1, brass number 1. I want to change that, and I want to send it back to my DX7. Only that patch, I can do that. I can send all. If I want to send also this another patch patch bank, I can do that. I'm going to show you that after I'm changing first my first bank. So I'm going to change this patch brass number 1. I'm going to change that sound. I'm going to close, so it's now, and I want to have a little bit more release. So to do that, I'm going to look at the algorithm. That's very important here, because in your algorithm, you see you have here from underneath here, you have the carriers. That's your oscillators. In this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oscillators are working now. Number 1, 3, 4, and 5. And above the carriers, you have your modulators. In this case, number 2 modulate number 1, number 6 modulate number 4 oscillator. But I want to have a larger release. And for the release, you have here your envelope generator, your level, and then your rate. You must only, if your level is here at 0, I must only change my rate. And now I have, this is the lower end, what you hear, but also in my higher end, that means number 3 also. Number 3, I'm going to do that same thing. And also number 4, also same thing. And of course, number 5. Do that also with your modulators here. So you have a you see, I changed the release of it. You can also do that same thing with your attack. Only the first 2. Can do a little bit more if you want. Maybe this one also number 4. That's also an oscillator. It's a bit quiet. I'm gonna leave it like that. The number 5. I can also change a little bit the modulators. In this case, number 2 for number 1. And I do that with my level, only on my level. Can do lots of little bit. Also the same thing here. Level number 4 is an oscillator, so level and the carrier is, that's number 3. It's also an oscillator. And then this one. Number 6 is in feedback also, so that feedback that gives that noisy sound. I'm gonna turn it a little bit more. A little bit more. Yes, you see? Less. Now you hear there is a difference. That's normally not the same sound. Okay, I'm gonna store it. I'm gonna store and I'm gonna name it 1.2. Rest 1.2. Destination, I'm gonna leave it on 1.2. Or I can choose an external file. I said okay. Now it's stored on 1.2 normally. Lows. It didn't do that. Name 1.2. Destination, this one. Save the, you have your choice. I'm gonna start program to DAW plugin, song rated, or start program and create a new copy of this. You can do that also. Start program and override the current. I'm gonna use the last one. I'm gonna override it like that. Now, just 1 point. I'm gonna point 2 like that. Okay. You must always choose. So to do that, you must always choose that. 1.2. The last one, and oh, it doesn't do that. It does only gonna make it otherwise. I'm gonna change that. Will it override it? Only you can only add one value. Okay. Instead of, I'm gonna put 1, 2, delete that. I'm gonna make it just 12, base 12, number 12. Override. Okay, and it changes. So now I changed the name and also the sound. You go to your patches, all the patches are the same, only this one that I changed. Now, very important, I have the same patches on my DX7, and I didn't like the brass sound, for example, and I changed it now here on my DX7, so my Dexed. So my Dexed, I'm using it for changing a patch. You can also use it for creating a patch and send it to your DX7. I'm going to do that after this. So now I'm going to press right on my mouse and then send program brass 12 to the DX7. Or I can send the current SX cartridge. I can send all this one to my DX7, or I send only one. I'm going to send only this one, the brass number 12. Now it will be received on the DX7. Let's go and listen to the DX7 now. And I see here brass number 12. So it's... Hi, welcome. Uncle Chrome. It's okay, it's okay. Nice. Not so warm as last week. I'm going to show you how to scale it. It's easy. I'm going to show you that. So I finish this one, then I'm going to show you how to scale it, and then I'm going to show you also how to create a sound patch and send it also to your DX7. But first of all, like I see, very important now, if you want to have that this patch stays on your DX7, you must press store. And if you press store here, now it's stored on number 1. I go to number 2, it's brass number 2. It doesn't do, I think I did it on another patch. Normally, normally it must stay on patch number 1. I'm going to send it back. No, I didn't. Send me a link for that. Maybe I'm gonna try it. Why not? And also I'll make a video of it. I'm gonna send it back. This one to the DX7. Press 2, and then normally it must. I see it here. Okay, I forgot something. You must press store, and then simultaneous you must press the key number where you want to start the patch. So simultaneous, you press store and then the key number, and now it's in number 2, as I said. Now it's fixed in It's saved on number 1. The patch that I edited, because they are the same patches that I have here. So you edit your patch on your DX7, you send it, and then store simultaneous the number that you want to store in on it, and it will stay. So coming back to the question of Uncle Chrome, who's how to make it large. That's very simple. You have here your parameters here. If you press that, then you have here unit scaling. And if you press, and you can choose between 100% to 400%. That's too big, of course. So now I make it difficult for me. I'm gonna cancel it, escape. Okay. Now, of course, I'm gonna close it and open it again. So that's the way you can scale your Dexed. But now I have a problem because I scale it, it's too large. It's a little bit of fault of mine why I did that. I don't know why. Reset to default states. That's just, but how can I get to the now you get me there. I cannot rescale it now here in this case because I cannot go and also it will be big. I can do it otherwise. I'm going to my plugin on my Cubase. I was a little bit too fast for that. It's very easy to scale it up, but scale it down if it's too big. That's another another issue now. I don't know why. You can reset plugin unit scale. Okay, I got it. Cancel. So don't need that. Now it's normal scale. So you can have also the normal scale. So same thing, parameters. You can choose here between 100. I choose always 100%. If you go to 400, you can, like I did, 150%. Is it that what you mean, Uncle Chrome? Was that your question, the scaling? So going back just here and set unit scale. Right on your Dex itself with your mouse, right click and then reset plugin unit scale factor. Then you get this one. I think it's the same. I don't know which version I have here, but I think it's the same. It's the same. Scaling is here up, go big, as I see 400%, or you can go small, clicking here, rescale to. That's how easy it is. I don't know. So that was how to scale and rescale this. I'm gonna scale it back so everybody can follow me. 100%, 115. I choose always this one. So that's how you edit a patch and send it to your DX7 as a patch. You can send also the whole cartridge. Just go to your cartridge, right click, and send it to your DX7, and then it's all this one, all that will be sent to your DX7. I can do that also, so I have the same patch now. This is a DX7 from the Dexed patch, so I'm going to send this one. Now I've done the same patches as here. Oh, maybe download a new version. This one, I think I must look it up which version it is. If I go to my downloads, I can see Dexed. I found it here. I cannot find it directly here between my downloads. Normally it is here always. But I just went to the website and the only version that I found was this one. So I don't know why. Maybe I think best thing that you can do is downloading the latest version. This one that I have. You have two versions. It can be also, do you use that in your DAW or do you use that on its own? Because now I'm using it on its own, not on my DAW. But even then, I can scale it up and down. Universal Studio, this one, no. I cannot find it directly here in my download folder. But if I go to my Cubase, I'm gonna show you also on my Cubase to upscale and downscale this app. If there is someone who knows, an instrument track, edit, then we have here, choose the Dexed. So that's the Dexed, and I can also do the same thing here, upscale, downscale, same thing. So current program DX2, DX7. This one is version 1.01, built in November 29, 2025. That's the version I'm using. So that's the latest version, and I'm gonna copy the link so you can go to that. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send the link. I'm gonna send you the link. That's the link. Hopefully it helps. This one, hopeful for you. Uh, that's the link that I used for that. So hopefully it will be helpful for you. So next is gonna close this one because I'm gonna use only the Dexed on itself. Like that. It's easier for me now for this video. So what can you also do is the mine is from 25, so it's older. So the link that I send it to you, this link, if you go to that, you have the latest version. So you must have the 25 version. That's better. That works better. You can also close. Now, you can also create a patch from scratch, and that's also very useful to have this Dexed. Start with, of course, the initialize your patch just init here. So you can initialize your patch. And then when you initialize your patch, you can start from scratch. Use, first of all, first thing that you must choose is your algorithms. As you know, FM sounds doesn't work like a subtractive synth. A subtractive synth starts from a waveform, a square wave. What do you also have? Can also sine wave, sawtooth, and from there on, you're gonna use your filter to subtract your frequencies and then create a sound. The FM sound doesn't do that. The FM sound starts with it starts with a sine wave, like an oscillator, same thing, an oscillator, sine wave, and another oscillator that modulate the first sine wave. Okay, great to know that. And so you can now you modulate your sine wave with another sine wave, and that's how you create sound. And also you can also one of those. So the modulator, you can set it also in an like here, number 6 here is in a feedback mode. Then you can create those sawtooth sounds with that feedback mode. So you can choose between 1 and 6 oscillators and modulate with other oscillators. In this case, you have in 6 modulators here, oscillators, and you can choose. Number 1 is your, in this case, number 1 an oscillator, and number 3 also an oscillator, and all the rest are carriers, are oscillators, carriers, and all the rest are modulators. They're gonna modulate those 2 oscillators here, sine waves from below here, and that's also FM, F for frequency modulation. That's the name of. So they don't use filters in this case. Okay. There are lots of great patches on the Dexed that you can choose, but did you also layer different Dexes on each other and pan them? That's also something that I want to show you here in this live stream. I have also other videos that you can see. You see where I pan those two. I can layer 4 or 5 decks on each other and pan them, so you can create a very bigger sound or sounds with other LFO modulations. You can try that also. You can have the sound of a DX1 on your DX7. You don't need to buy a DX1. If you have a DX7, you can do that with your Dexed. So going back to creating a sound from scratch. So going to initialize your patch, and I'm gonna choose algorithm number 1. So that means that the LFO number 1 and LFO number 3 are my oscillators, and all the rest of the oscillators are modulators. We're gonna modulate those two frequency. So I'm gonna turn everything off, only oscillator 1. I can do that. If it's not lighting up, then it's off. You have one oscillator, just a sine wave. You can make a little bit of release of it. You do that with your number 4 here on your envelope generator rate. Then you have a release. Yes, that's not, that's enough, but that can also work. DX200 is better. So just on one oscillator and with some release on it. I can also modulate the first oscillator now. I'm going to turn this on, but the level is off, so you must turn up the level, and you will hear that it's going to change. Going to change this sound. That behaves a little bit like this, the sustain. I know the sustain, like the you have the cutoff of your filter, and then you have the how do you call it? The resonance. Excuse me, I must the resonance of your filter. You can put it there. So you have the cutoff and the resonance of your filter, and that gives that sound a bit. Oh, wow, wow. A little bit more. Ow, ow, ow. So you can also do the same thing, have the same release. Make it bigger, longer. Also, do the same thing with your attack. Now I can add also the second oscillator on, number 3, but I'm gonna turn that level on. I'm gonna make it also maximum this one. Now they have 2, same, only the number 3 is not with the release. Gonna change the tuning. Can go also very high for. If I do now the attack, that's too much, a little bit less. Go very high. That's out of tune, of course, now. Release. Now we have that high tone at the end. That's too much release, a little bit less. And now less of. A little bit less. I can also turn number 4 for modulating, number 3 level up. The higher I go with my level, the... No, it's not out of tune. Now it's in tune. I can make it a little bit. Less attack. So you just 2 oscillators and 2 carriers, and you can create all those sound. Less at release here. And there is so much more. Now I'm gonna use this one and I'm gonna create a new sound, a test. I'm gonna name it test. Destination, I'm gonna take the last one, a la faux swipe. I'm gonna take the last one and create a copy. I choose the first one. What does it say? And now it doesn't say that. Store program onto your W. No, I must not store it to my DAW. I'm not going to use that. I have here 2, I think. That's okay. I'm going to leave it the first here. Okay, the first one. Store program and create a new copy. Test. I name it test. Okay. Now it's test here. And I can copy this one here, but I'm not going to do that. Now you see number 1 is test. Okay, nice. I don't know what a VCV rack means. Voltage control, voltage rack. Is it modular or something like that? I'm not familiar with that term, VCV. Only VC is for me voltage control, of course. And rack version, and I mean, it's a rack version synth. Do you mean that, Uncle Chrome? So I created now a patch. I gave it the name test. I'm gonna close it. So what can I do now? I can right click and send it to my DX7. It will appear now on my DX7. I'm gonna listen to that. Will it be there? I think so. I don't see it now. Why? I don't know why. Normally it will be on. That's the bass sound that I created before. So I must go back to, normally it's open. Why doesn't that's a cartridge, I don't need that. Send test to And normally it must go to the gonna save it. I'm gonna name it DX7 2. Exit 2. Normally I can refresh. It normally it will appears here, but it doesn't do that. Close. 3, that's also important here. The out, you must choose always your output. This one is 3, otherwise it will not send it to your DX7. That's very important. You have also here your MIDI settings and audio settings for your, in this case I'm using my audio from my mix table. Also in number 3, same thing. MIDI out, normally it goes also to number 3. Test on test, yes. That seems that stays the same. And then we are going to our cartridge that's here. That's the sound that I had before. I can also open it in location and make as you see I have here, that is not what I wanted. I can make a copy of that, and so that I have always the original. That's also copy and paste. Then I make a number 2 of it, and it will appear in my browser. So I have 2. I'm gonna change that again, so you can see another creation of a patch from scratch. Close this one. Now refresh, and you will see 2 appears. This one. So I'm gonna choose this one. Loads. Close. So what I did, initialize this patch like that. Some release here. Actually release a little bit. This one was also release. That level. This one is also a little bit of attack and release. Much higher. Number 4 I thought, yeah. And then this one, the other 2 must be off because I don't use them. And go. Level higher here. And here. Now it will change. now it will work. So store program to DAW plugin. No, I'm going to do that. Program and override the current. Okay. Now it will override it. So it's overriding the. So if I go now to the cartridge and go send it to my DX7, normally it will send it now. Strange that it won't send the. In the beginning, it worked, and now it didn't do that. I don't know why. Close, save, yes. So, close, cartridge 1, 2. Normally, if I send the whole, I can send this one completely, send to the, then it will appear, I think, there. It's very. I don't do that. I don't map the controls. I'm not like I said. I'm not working in the box. I'm a musician that always plays. An instrument for me is for playing and not for. I'm not that guy of working in the. I'm only. I like to play with the hardware without tweaking a lot. Not so tweak. Don't tweak a lot of the parameters. I change sometimes things, but and I'm using almost all my gear like that without MIDI. The only thing that I can change patches from the DX7. So normally I choose just patches together, and if they inspire me, then I make music like that. There is no. I'm not spending a lot of time creating, or I'm not so like that. Lows. There is something that's not right, but number 3, that's completely. That's okay. This one, it's here. So strange. Oh, I changed the first patch. I don't know why I did that. Open in location. I can send it through this. Can send it. Okay, like me. File, send the 6 files. I think, yes. Now it will receive on my DX7. No, nothing. Strange. Okay. Sometimes turn off, turn on. Strange, maybe because I'm using the other internal memory off. Then available like that. Going to number 1, yes. Close this one. Gonna turn off this one also. Gonna start from, there are 2 on. That's the way, that's why. Okay, now starting from, I think that's a problem. Sometimes if you click double, there are 2 like that. There were 2 Dexeds on, and that gives that problem. Okay. Okay. I'm not so familiar with that. That's why it's a little bit, how do you say it? A little bit Chinese for me. But I understand what you mean. For some, for the LFO instead, indeed. But the LFO, normally I set all my parameters before I'm going to play. So, and then I'm using my my wheels, my modulation wheel, or my for my LFO, or that depends which synth I'm playing with. I'm gonna make this one bigger, so going back here, 150%. That's the, and normally close cartridge number 1. That's number 2. Why it stays on? Going back to here. That's number 1, and this one is number 2. And now I can send, hopefully, send to the DX7. That's a sound that I agree. I don't use a lot of DSTs, only sometimes the drums or the Dexeds layering on each other. And I've also, but I'm not so VST, only effects sometimes also, but not synths, almost hardware. Most of all analog. Only DX7 is the digital. My DS88 is also digital. And the drum computer, the TR-08, is also digital. All the rest is analog and polyphonic and monophonic, of course. Strange. Let me protect this off. Okay. Strange that it doesn't do that, and in the beginning it worked perfectly, and now send to the whole cartridge. I sent the whole cartridge now, and now nothing. That's very strange that I have this problem. I'm gonna choose this one and I'm gonna retry why it doesn't do that. And in the beginning it was no problem. That's very strange. Why? Certainly it doesn't do that. There is something in my MIDI settings, I think. Output number 3, and this one I don't need that. That was the problem. As you see in the beginning, the settings here, the MIDI output must be number 3, and it didn't do that. So that's why I couldn't send any patch to the DX7. Now it will be easy. Cartridge number 3. I'm gonna send only this one test, and now it will be arrived. No. Okay. Off. That's very strange. Very, very strange. Send a fix. Ethics no buffer available. Okay. This one. Close. So what's the problem here? I didn't expect that I have this issue. Normally it will always work without any issues. As you see in the beginning of the video, it was perfectly cartridge. Then you send it and you and normally if I double click, I go to that. Strange. Going back to the map. Last time that I change it, so it's okay. This one, all the rest is normal. I'm gonna open it from from Cubase. Maybe it will work. That's very strange. A MIDI track, an instrument, yes. And we have here a Dexed. Not that. But nothing. Oh. Very, very strange. Normally it goes, it works. I did that in the beginning of this video. It was normally no problem. I send it and also send it back. But now suddenly it won't do nothing, and I don't know why. Yes, that's off. Everything is, but I did it because I changed one of those, and also okay, wait, gonna. This one I'm gonna override it. Close. No, not MIDI panic, because I see my MIDI patch. It works, so it's say go this. So I'm gonna store this one again on the same. Cancel. Number 3, that's normal. Yes, going out to number 3. Mark 1 parameters here, same thing. Options. No. I just it's no. I did it so many times, and normally here, as you see, it's again. It's off again. That's why. That's strange. That's very strange. Now it's again off. I had this issue also, and what I did at that time, gonna go back. Now it's on. That's okay. Store. Gonna delete this one. Open in location. This one I'm gonna delete like that. Save. So again, store. But gonna make a copy now. start program and create a new copy of this cartridge. Okay, and I'm going to make a new copy of this one here. That's the copy. Yes. Okay, I'm back again where I started. I think it will work now. I'm going to my files again. Number 1 and 2. That's okay. That's the same thing. I'm gonna turn this off. I think it has to do with this software here. MIDI filter, MIDI device. I'm gonna turn it off. Delete outputs. Delete. I'm gonna turn it off, this one. MIDI inputs, and in this one also I think that it has to do with this software that I used, the MIDIOX. That changed the okay, save. Close that. Cartridge load. Going to my patches. Cartridge number 1 and 2. Open. Refresh. Okay. Okay, I have them all both. That's okay. Now I can change. I thought I lost the original patch, but it's again I have it here. So that's the reason why I was a little bit panicking that I lost my original patch, and that's not the case now. It's here, as you see, and I think also why the problem is. But first, before I'm going further, I'm gonna close this one, close also this one, going back to my folder. That's very important that you use always your same folders. And also don't forget, for those who are just watching now this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and also like Uncle Chrome, leave a message in the chat, or if you have a question, just ask. I will be glad to answer or try to answer you, help you also if it could be, of course. Now this one is those. Oh, I forgot something. I must go always. You can go always from here to opening location. That's much easier. And if you want to change it from here. That's number 2 now. And this one, the copy will be yes. And also, I hope I solved my problem here also. Normally, I think I know what the problem is. The copy must be gone. Close this one. Refresh. You have 2, and now not closed. Want to refresh? Open in location again. Delete. Okay, now it will be. And now if I refresh, it will be gone. This is number 2. That's where I created that patch. Number 1 is the original patch. Number 2, where I created that patch. Close it, you see, that's a patch that I created. You can go, now it's out. That's okay now. So if I go to that cartridge and I'm going to send it normally, first, before I do that, I'm going to go again and see if it's on number 3. So it goes out to number 3. So it will work if I do that. And also, the DX7 was also playing. That's why. That's not what I want. And number 3 out. So this is for your data, and it's number 3. Not number 1, but number 3, yes. And normally it will. I'm gonna send the cartridge to the DX7. Now it went to my MIDI, but does it receive? Yes, memory protect MIDI received. So it had to do with the MIDI aux. That was a problem. Now I have the same sound. So the patch that I created from scratch, I sent it to my DX7. So what the problem was normally was this software. You must turn it off. The MIDI aux, because I set the port on the MIDI aux and it stays on. And that's, you go to that and then you must delete it. If it stays open, it will disturb your MIDI signal to your DX7. So that's very important that the MIDI aux is turned off. And certainly when you're going to a MIDI device, there is no MIDI here. It must be empty. If it's on, then you have a problem. You cannot send your MIDI patches to your DX7. So that's important. That was also my thought, because before it worked perfectly, and since I did that, after that it was a problem. Okay. And now I also solved my own problem, and that's this plugin app that I'm using for sending and receiving system exclusive data that caused the problem with my receive and sending the patches. So we can go open again. So as you see, that's the patch that I created, test. You can also open a level of number 5 and number 6, and it also in feedback. Level up the changing your frequency also here, and the feedback, of course. velocity of your keys. Make it a bit longer. More modulation. That's your LFO here. You can choose on and off. There's also an envelope generator for your end signal. So you can also use this. And I can store this one also. Okay, store this one on the same as last one here. So store program on the and overwrite the current SX. So it's stored. So go into that, send it to my DX7 again. So now it will be on my DX7. But what I hear now is strange. It doesn't sound the same. So I'm gonna try this one. Okay, it sounds the same. It sounds the same. I thought it was a little bit different, but it's the same. That's the Dexed, what you hear. Gotta turn that off and go into the DX7. Identical, like I said also before in the other live stream videos that I made over the DX7 and Dexed. They are identical. They sound identical. There is no difference between those two. So you can change and you can send it and you have that sound on your DX7. So I was very glad to have to see that there is an app for the DX7, so you can create your patches or edit your patches in a really easy way. You can do also this thing. You can also do that. There are lots of can go a little bit lower, upper. That depends. How do you? Yeah. That's the that's the nice that's the right way to say that. That was my problem. The MIDI dogs that blocks the traffic of my signals to the DX7, and that's all. So there was. Do you send me the link where you do that? The link that you use for that. Which one was that? Okay, store the same thing. I'm gonna store this one on the same. Go to your cartridge. This one is the test patch that I'm using. Send this only this test patch to the DX7. It's as you hear, it's on the DX7 also. So that's how easy it is to use this Dexed as your MIDI controller for your DX7 to easy editing sound patches and creating sound patches. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. FM synthesis is difficult to work with. It's not so easy to create. Certainly the envelope generators on the DX7 are not so easy to handle. And the rest is also, as you see, you have here your feedback. Unit number 6, or if I use it with lots of less feedback, a little bit more of release. Also the same thing here, because this one, number 5, level it up a little bit. So I can send the current program to the DX7 also from here. So that's also a way that you can use the Dexed and the DX7. Another thing also that I did also on my other videos was using the DX7 as multiple DX7s on each other. More than one engine. In this case, I can use 3, 4, 5 engines. What I do is always there are software indeed to, because it's how do you say, it's mathematics. It's just mathematics, and that's I found difficult on the DX7. But if I set my timer and I'm gonna, if I want to create some patches, some nice patches also. It's not so difficult if you're focusing on that, but the subtractive synths are much easier to use than the DX7. That's my opinion, of course. But I think if you work a few days on the Dexed, then it will be that you're gonna be used to that it will go faster to create a patch. So what I do is always first instrument, second instrument. So I'm gonna stack now 3 DX7 on each other, 3 DX7 engines. The first one, I'm gonna pan this one left and the other one right, right and the other one left. And my own DX7, I'm gonna listen, let it stay in the middle. That is my middle keyboard. Then open the Dexed here, this case, the first one. Then the second one also, Dexed. And hi, Karpinko. You sent me a message, but it's gone. Even then, welcome. Hey, Sasha, welcome to the live chat. Hi, everyone. Also, do you came across? And did you do you have the link for this DX7 generator? I'm gonna search it here. DX7 the generator. Patch generator. I have here one. What's the name of the generator? What is the name of the gen? Indeed, it sounds fun. So what I also sometimes do is creating one, two, three patches, three patches stuck in each other, even four or five or less of more, even more than that, and then from there on, pan them left and right, like I did on my previous videos. In this case, and choose different patches. So in this case, I'm going to use from the FM, the first one here. You can also stock the same patches, then you create a more, can do that also as an example so you can see the difference. And for this one also, the Dex, the first also samplers, the second one here. So I have the second one and then the other. Okay, I must, I'm gonna choose my other, because this patch I need to, I'm gonna use another patch, another setting, because this one is the audio different sets. That's why I cannot hear the synth. Uh, oh, that's pretty. If you had the link, because I found some this one, I'm gonna give a link of one I found. I don't know if someone knows this one. I have here a link of one of those DX7 generators. I have here also a link of that. Maybe it can help. It be helpful because I don't find. Uh, are they better than this? I don't know. That's almost the only thing that I can found about the DX7 generators. So go back to the DX7. I need to have two instruments here, two instrument tracks, and each instrument track is a Dexed. I'm going to choose Dexed here. The other one is also a Dexed then. The same thing here. I'm choosing also a Dexed. Then I'm going to pan the first one right and the left and the other one right. And the DX7, I'm going to leave it in the middle. And I'm going to start with the same patches so you can hear the difference when you're stucking the same sounds on each other, and also when you're using different sounds. That's also very interesting to have some interesting sounds that you can create with that. Go to your cartridge. For the first, I'm going to use the DX1 patch. This one I created for testing. Load this one here. Close. So I have, and I'm going to choose a second patch. If you're listening, it's panned normally. It's only on one side. Then the other one, the same thing. Also go to the same first one. And this one is second patch. This one is panned right. I'm going to send the same patch to the DX7. Send the cartridge to the DX7. Now it's sending it to the DX7. Oh, thank you for the info. Okay. Thank you, Sasha. But if you remember the sites, please let me know. Put it in the comment below after then, because I'm very curious about because I don't find a lot on that. I don't find a lot, so that's why I'm so curious. I found some like that. This sound doesn't exist. This one. Then it will be this one. Generate cartridges. Yes, yes. I'm gonna set it. I'm gonna set it. Okay. Now that I have it, oh, thank you very much, Sasha, for your help. So normally, if I go now here, and I'm going to number 3, that's my DX7, number 3, and I'm going to play on the DX7 so you can hear the 3 synths together. That's the DX7 on its own that you hear, and not the Dexed together with the DX7. Don't know why it won't play now. Okay, I know why, I think. In number 3. That's why. You must set them here also in number 3, otherwise it won't play. This one also, set it in number 3. And now they're going to play together. Yeah, it's after this, after finished with this, gonna show it, and maybe we can find something interesting. I don't know. Why not? So now we have both strange, no sound. There's a second time, and there's the first time that occurs to me that I can play with the DX7 together. I don't know. Cancel. I'm gonna do. It plays, so. But it's on number 1. So why it's on number 1, I don't know. Input, output is there, yes. And the input is number 3. Normally, it must send it to, but it doesn't do that. No signal to number 3. Strange again. That's also the first time that, because it is here. Open this one up. Also, I think it's a very sensitive plugin. If you're having too much of the plugins that are open, that's my opinion on this DX7. That's the first thing that it occurred to me, that it will be instrument Dexed. It plays, so that's okay. Connection number 3. Normally it will. Yes. Like I said, it's a very complicated plugin. What I want to say is that if you are open different, because you can use this plugin in a DAW, but you can use it also on its own. And when you're using it on its own and in your DAW, and you combine those two, it can be very tricky, and it can give some troubles with your MIDI connections. So be careful with that. Use it only in your MIDI DAW, or use it only as a plugin on its own. If you want to pan them and also turn off and off the volume, you must use the MIDI. You must use a DAW. In this case, I'm using Cubase. If you want to have different, stuck just on each other without panning, then you can use this plugin on its own. So what I want to demonstrate was you can use different plugins. I'm gonna copy this one, duplicate this track again, the same thing, and you can use the first one on your left side, the other one on the right side, and use the same plugins. I'm gonna see which one is now in. that's the same. Then you can do that on your changing patches. You can do that on the DX7. Set them all monitoring so you can play them. And then you will listen both synths all and together with the DX7. Oh, strange. In the beginning it played and then it stops. So why does it do that suddenly? What's the problem here? Strange. I think I know. I think I know. The output, that's the problem. The output here must be turned off, I think, because if I go here, you have the same thing that I said. It can give you some issues if you're using those two. None, because I'm using it only for an input, not for an output. So I'm going to turn it on and off again. So there are sometimes some issues with this plugin. You must be careful with all those MIDI in and out. It can create a loop. That we name it a loop in the MIDI terms, and that's why certainly it won't work. And I saw it in also on my MIDI patch. There was a loop in the MIDI, because in the beginning it played, and then after that it was gone. Gonna try first with this one here. Connect number 3. That's my input, and then the Dexed. You see it plays, going to number 2. And then it stops. So it stops when I'm changing patches. So what can it be? If I go here, I'm certain it is this one. So what I'm going to do is the same thing again. Don't save. I must save that so I can have not always, so I don't have every time the same problem. For someone who has the same problem here, also didn't so the first thing I'm going to do now is number 3. Okay, the Dexed, but here, turn that off. No output, because it make that loop, and when it does make that loop, it will create always now I can send and change, and certainly it can do without any problem. Let's try. No, it doesn't do that. So the problem is somewhere else than that. I must open this one then and go to Options, MIDI Settings and Setups, and turn this off. MIDI outputs, inputs, that doesn't matter. Turn this off. none, not using this, close, close, again, starting up. I didn't expect that I'm gonna have some issues with the sending and receiving. Just I think because I was using both of the synths, Dexed and number 3. So normally it will work as a MIDI keyboard. Now my DX7. Okay. And when I'm changing patches, it stops. So there is an issue. I don't know why, and I don't know what the solution is, and why it does appears now and before never. That's what I created. This one close. And even it stays here on. It's on the strange. I'm gonna try once again, and hopefully I'm gonna fix this issue. That's strange, but that's normal. That's not the first time there are some number 3. It's my MIDI keyboard. It's on, but I have always on number 1 an issue, so I don't know why. Then we have here the Dexit. There is something not connected. That's okay. This is so. Let's go here. Turn that off. No. Outputs. Gonna save that also. Save it as template. Override. So it stays always the same. If I'm overriding it, then we will see if it's there or not. No, it stays here. No. And it stays always in that. Let's see where the option. Maybe I have also other. You can use it as a remote control editor that we were talking about before, but I'm not using it. But always here, what do you have here also? Load previous generate editor, not. Then we have. There's something wrong about Dexit now. It occurs now. It never occurred before. So what the problem is, I don't know. It has to do something with your MIDI settings. Input number 3, that's what I need. And if I'm using it like that, there is no problem. Cartridge number 1. Okay. This one maybe a sound. Normally it will play if I play. Turn off the DX7. And now it won't change even the patches. Can try. So, none. The options going back to. It. Does it has to do with this? I don't know. That's the first time that it occurs to me that it is a problem. Can do it with my MIDI keyboard, my piano, Roland DS88. Normally that works always, so you can change your patches. I find it very strange that it does that with my DX7. Before it didn't do that. So I can choose here now. Options, MIDI settings, and I'm going to choose Juno DS, not the 3. And here, nothing. So, again, the same thing here. Instead of 3, Juno DS. But it doesn't do that. Output, don't need that. None, doesn't need that. None. And go to the Juno DS. Yes. No problem. Changing patches. as you see, it works perfectly. You can change patches and it stays like that. I'm gonna try again with my instead of now the Juno DS, I'm gonna turn that's output, but I don't need that, so it can stay on Juno DS, no problem. But I'm gonna change the input. Instead of the Juno DS, turn that off. So the DX7 doesn't do that. Why? I don't know. But what I know, what I did, I turned on and off the DX7 so that system exclusive is off instead of on. I think it has to do with that. There is also then something new that I discovered about the DX7. I think it has to do with that. So going back here, options, MIDI settings. It's in the, normally it will play. Okay, so for those who just staying watching, so I discovered something new. So when you're set your DX7 and system exclusive on, so it can receive and send system exclusive, then it will not work with the, you cannot use it as a sort of MIDI keyboard. If you want to use it so only as a MIDI keyboard, like I want to use it now with my DAW, I'm going to use it for creating a big, loud sound, then you must then you must turn that off. But when you're sending patches and you're creating patches, you must send it on. The moment that you don't use it for that, turn it off, system exclusive, so you can use it as a MIDI keyboard. That's very important because it will conflict with your system. And I think that's the most, so that's something new and also important to know. So I can now show you what I want to show. Different sounds, right, left, and also different patches on each other. So you can use it as a sort of keyboard, a big sounding FM synth like the DX1, for example. So as you know, and for all those who came, thank you for coming and watching me also. Stay tuned, okay? And also stay, I'm not finished, but feel free to leave a comment in the chat. If you have a question, also don't hesitate. I will try to answer that. So let's start again. We're gonna copy this one. We're gonna make a copy of this one, duplicate this track. So we're gonna use this one as left, the other one right. I'm gonna use the same patches that I have also. So first we're gonna use the same patches all, so you can hear the difference. There must, in this case, number 2, I can change that on the DX7. So monitor those two, and then let's go and hear what we can create when you're stuck 3 DX7 on each other, 3 engines, left, right, the DX7 in the middle here stays in. Let's see what it can do. what you hear are three DX7s stuck on each other, left, right, and in the middle. What can you do to make this sound much bigger if you're using now? We are using the same patches. There are some tricks, and one of those tricks is changing a little bit of the frequent the equalizer here. In this case, you can change, make this one brighter, like that, a little bit brighter. The other one more low end, like this, and the DX7 on itself is in the middle. Also, what you can do is put a little bit of delay on those, but only just with some equalizing, it will make a difference. That creates a very big sound only with three the same patches, left, right, and in the middle. And those left, right, you're gonna the other one more low end, the other one more high end. You can also cut a little bit of the high end here, and the other one a little bit of the low end, just to make more difference. You make it more bigger than just with equalizing. And you can also do that sometimes with some delay on your right, left, or something. But with just only equalizing, you create that big sound of the FM DX7. That's a very interesting way to create sounds. What you also can do is just turn that equalizing off. And instead of that, using three different patches. So what you can do, what I'm doing is sometimes just choose another bank, and then it's random, and it's also interesting because when it's random, you came across to, there are some sounds that you didn't even expect to came across of those sounds, and that can be a very how do you say it? It's inspiring. It can be very inspiring when you're just crossing sounds without knowing which sound that you want to get. So three different banks. In this case, the first one, I'm gonna choose on the FM number 1 from the Sempress FM. Double click, and you have that close. Then we are going. That's normally for Sempress FM. Yeah. Yes, piano. Close. Then for the second one, go and choose number 2. Same thing, cartridge, Synthpress FM number 2, and close. And for my DX7, I'm gonna choose another one, which so for the DX7, I'm going to choose. Oh, there is something. Okay, so for the DX7, I'm going to choose the cartridge. Going to my cartridge. Number 1 as a brass. You go through those patches till you come across a sound that can be created. There is something with my master tune, I think. Set it in the middle. That's better. There was something detuned. The master tune was not in the middle. So it's okay now. Back to the cutter. So many different I came across some of those patches that I randomly created make them play together, and it gave some very interesting sounds. Certainly when you're using also your with your pedals. Very nice. Some modulation. So, for example, like this one, it's very nice, so I can maybe make a bigger release on those sounds that it will be like, but not so big if you're on a really so that also things that you can create with that, with the DX7 and the Dexit together. Those things I came across surprised me by the sound that it can produce, and also the things that you can do, um, tweaking the sounds, editing the sounds, creating such a nice FM synth sound that you can't have that without the Dexit. So the Dexit together with the DX7, I think it's a powerful synthesizer, and normally it's cheap also because you can find DX7 for not in great shape, $300 or $200 or three to €400, and in a very great and good shape working for I think 800 euros. And you have, if you have a laptop and you have you have the Dexit on that, then you have a very interesting and very nice sounding synthesizer. So that was for me a big surprise, of course, when I came across about Dexit, and also the sound of the DX7. That was also for me an eye-opening opener, I will say. So that was for stacking different DX7 on each other and Dexits on each other. The same thing, there are DX7 engines, and creating a bigger sound with some tricks that I explained. Also, the problems that I had during this video, like using but not only using the MIDI aux for sending system exclusive, but I think it has also to do with if your filter for system exclusive is on, then you cannot use your MIDI, you cannot use your DX7 as a MIDI keyboard, or to use it as a MIDI keyboard. So set it off if you want to use it as a MIDI keyboard. Set it on if you want to send and receive patches, system exclusive data to your DX7. That's very important. That's normal that you're gonna have that on when you're using MIDI. There's always something that goes wrong. Of course, that's normal. For the rest, so for creating a patch from scratch, use the Dexit. That's easy. It can, and then you can send it to your keyboard. But it takes some time to learn, and also certainly those envelope generators are not so easy to use on this plugin. But it's much easier than to create a sound on your Dexit, on your DX7. That's much worse than difficult than on the Dexit. For the rest, I think I covered it all. Is it a very useful tool, the Dexit? It's very useful, certainly when you have the DX7 with it. So together, it's powerful. So all those who work in the box or out of the box, I think that's a very interesting device that you can have, a DX7. Use it as a MIDI keyboard. But if you have a MIDI keyboard, just download the plugins. Also, as some of you mentioned, like Sasha and also Uncle Chrome, there is also that MIDI generators, and if I believe Sasha already told me, then this one, I'm gonna show it here on the screen, so you can click here to go to the creator. I'm gonna go together with you all so you can see what it does. That's the website, and here it generates normally. So it has generated now. Is it a patch or is it a bank? I'm gonna see what it does. So if I want to send that, I must turn off again the filter of the system exclusive. Otherwise, I cannot play it. Um, but I can do it also on the Dexed. So we're gonna put it. I think it's a patch. Gonna put it here. Yes. We will see what it does. Going to my Dexed. Close that. Just each time you press here, you generate a patch, a cartridge. Just generate a cartridge. So it's a cartridge. There are different patches. Also interesting, I think. So thank you very much, Sasha, for this tip. Hope. Yes, I see. Yeah, and that's very, very interesting. So I'm gonna try it. So why not? Well, let's try. Go to the cartridge. Load. I'm gonna load one. So they are here. I'm gonna load this one. Okay, there are some blanks here. That means there are not. Nice. There are some nice patches in this bank. And the names, that's very funny. The names that they are giving. But I think it's also interesting if you have a patch or a sound that you say, well, this is okay as a basic sound that where you can create a sound, a patch from that. Like this one, I found it interesting. So if I close it, I can tweak it a little bit, so I can go a little bit like that. More of the. Then also go less if I want. Oh. Give it a little bit more and feedback. The second one is here. That's also another trick that I want to explain. You can also just only by changing your logarithms, you can change your sound. So sometimes you can do that and you come across like this one. Less. Let's release and lower. This one is also, so that's also a way to create patches. Go to that website. As you see, click here. I'm gonna generate another. We will see another one. Just of curiosity, why not? Gonna put it also in that cartridge here, and I'm gonna download that also. Very easy cartridge. Load, then go to your folder, and this one is here. You didn't put it in. I don't know why. No problem. Because it isn't. It isn't. Now it was there. Go back to my Dexed. Here it is. This one is it. That's another one. Okay, I'm gonna take this one, and then I'm gonna change my logarithms. Algorithms. Another algorithm. You see, just turn on the algorithm, and you can change. You have so many patches. So that's a nice tip that Shasha gave me. Can play with that. We will see what it gives. So there are so many sound patches that you can have if you're using also this cartridge patch generator. And so that's also a new for me. So I'm gonna explore that also. Who knows? I can make another. I will make another video about the DX7, the part 2. This one I'm gonna edit it also at the finish of this live stream. I'm gonna edit this one. I'm gonna put it as a video on my channel. So stay tuned for this. And I'm gonna create a second live stream with going through some patches, creating some patches from scratch, and more, of course. So for all those who came and watched the live stream, and also for you, Shasha, and for Uncle Chrome, and also for in the beginning was it Uncle Chrome. There was someone else, but I think he's gone now. Thank you very much for your opinions and also for the tips. And I was also glad to help you. And maybe next week I'm gonna do part 2 on the DX7 and the Dexed. Recapitulate a little bit what I did today, and also remember that when you're sending your system exclusive data to your MIDI device or to your synthesizer, set your use it, then you cannot use it as a MIDI keyboard at that moment. So that's very important to set your filter off before you can use it as a MIDI keyboard, and set it on if you want to transfer your cartridge patches from your Dexed to your DX7. That's the most important thing. For the rest, I will take care, everyone. Have a nice evening also. I don't know from where you all are. Here it's evening now. I will see you later all on another live stream, of course. No problem. Thank you for the visit and also for the comms. Thank you very much. I will be back, of course, and we see each other later on another live stream. Thank you all. Take care and goodbye.